Blackwood Circle of Friends, and it's a special group caring for refugees. We have been in the business in the last 10 years. Thank you, David. We have been for the last 10 years caring and supporting refugees, and we are deeply concerned about the plight of the children in our detention camps at the moment. We have initiated this Adelaide event because of our deep concern. These children are struggling with mental health issues and also delayed physical development. I would like to offer you all my heartfelt thanks for coming here this morning on this wonderful day. This is a particularly important event, and I would welcome all of you, and particularly our guest speaker, the Honourable Dr. Reverend Lynn Arnold. In a moment, I'm going to ask him to speak. What he will do when he's finished speaking is he will walk over to the cage and release a doll. He will put the doll, after he's removed the tag, into the play area, and that's where we believe all children should be, in the play area, not in the cage. When he's done that, he will take the tag over to where Mary's sitting, and Mary will help him fill it out and post it to the Immigration Minister, asking for all children to be freed from detention. We encourage all of you to do the same thing here today, to free a doll and to make sure that we have our voices heard against what we think is a terrible injustice. I would like now to invite our special guest, Dr. Arnold, to speak. We're delighted to have him. He is ex-Premier of South Australia. He's also been a CEO of World Vision and a head of Anglicare. We welcome him now. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much indeed, Barbara, and thank you particularly also to the Blackwood Circle of Friends, who have organised this initiative here in South Australia. This is part of a national event, a cycle that has taken place. It has started in Sydney.
Okay, let's
try again. Okay, back online. Well, I want to congratulate the Blackwood Circle of Friends for this initiative, which is part of a national tour that started in Sydney, then went on to Brisbane, and after here we'll go to Melbourne. It's about bringing to national attention just what is going on in terms of children in detention in this country. You know, I'm very touched by the art installation we have here today. This very daunting but impressive piece that has been specially made for this occasion to symbolically highlight the fact that there are real children, not dolls, but real children. And so each one of those dolls has a real name, because it actually represents a real person, a real child. And then the symbolism of this little patch of green and a play area. When I was in World Vision for 11 years, I visited many disaster areas around the world, and what I saw there was always an immediate program to help children first. And there were child-friendly centres. Why would that be so? Well, because children are children. They have vulnerability. Yes, of course they have resilience, but they need to have their vulnerability taken care of, and their resilience enhanced, not destroyed. And so child-friendly centres where kids could be kids in the midst of whatever disaster they were there, whether it be a natural one or a humanitarian emergency. So that's what we actually want for kids, like the kids who've been brought to this country, who've come to this country in fear of their lives with their parents and family. They need to be given that opportunity for their vulnerabilities to be addressed and for their resilience to be enhanced. Cages do not do it. Now, one of the issues, this is supporting an effort by Chilout, which stands for Children Out. Now, Chilout, CHILOUT.org, has a brilliant website, and I strongly commend that you go to that website to see what the information they have there, the facts that they have there. And of course, one of the things we have, an issue like children in detention, asylum seekers, is so much myth propagation, trying to say things in a way that makes them look bad, that tries to make us look good for the things that we as a nation are doing to these people. Now, the reality is that when you hear the phrase illegal asylum seekers, I'll try and get away from there, when you hear the phrase illegal asylum seekers, I'm going to do it very quickly in the crowd.
Do you want to go help?
When you hear the phrase illegal asylum seekers, it is wrong. It is not illegal to seek protection for yourself and your family away from the fear of persecution, the fear of oppression. When you hear that people are queue jumping, that is simply not correct. The facts are that only 30% of the 12 to 15 million refugees that there are in the world today are actually in refugee camps. All the others live in urban settings around the world. They are still genuinely refugees, but they're not in the camps from which a queue could be formed. Secondly, to be in a queue, you have to be in a place, in a country, which is a signatory to the International Refugee Conventions. There are no such countries between Afghanistan, Iran, Iraq, Sri Lanka, Myanmar, and here. So that they would have to go the other direction to get to such a country, to then join this apparent queue to then come into this country. But we also need to put into context just what is the actual situation in terms of numbers of people who are seeking asylum. The number globally varies between 500 million and 1 million per year, but that is globally, and the situation in Australia is between 14 and 25,000 over recent years. And the actual number in the total percentage of people who move each year is a minuscule percentage. But even if it were a larger percentage, we're addressing here today one particular issue that nobody really should be able to turn away from, and that is the issue of children and how we should treat children. To actually make children the victims of our political obsessions is an abomination. And so, as I say here, we have these dolls, but they represent a real person. And as I encourage you to go in there after I've gone in there to take one of these dolls out, to free one of these dolls, and then sign the card and then post the card, I encourage you to think especially on the name you see on that card and to focus on the fact that there is somebody in this country in detention or in one of our offshore sites that we have chosen to have. So once again, my congratulations to the Blackwood Circle of Friends for organising this here in Adelaide. It'll be here, I guess, for a month. St. Aloysius College will be having this facility too. I want to also say thank you to the singers today. We've just had Sophia singers, and we'll also be having cantamus and serotones. And for those of you here today, I encourage you to go viral with this. Go viral on your various social media means, but also in real means of actually talking to people that you see, and tell them that this will be here from today until Saturday afternoon. And so encourage people to come along and be part of this demonstration of activity so that our national body politic can understand that we actually do feel concern for these children. We feel concern for what it's doing to our national psyche, that we should regard it as a normal thing for children to be caged up when they're children. For children to have their resilience pulled away from them, to have their vulnerabilities enhanced and not minimized by what we are doing, in addition to what they've had happen to them in the oppression from which they fled. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's with very great pleasure that I will now go into the cage and come out again, but I will come out with a child. This is Amir Mehra, and so I think of him as I'm holding this doll. And wherever you are, Amir, wherever detention that you are in, may it be that you are not there long at all. May it be that we are part of helping you be free from that detention, along with all the other children who are so detained.
Oh, hello. Sophia singers are going to sing a song called Mama Bakudana, and this is a song that comes from South Africa, and it's a song often used by the mothers when they gather for meetings or celebrations or things they need to discuss, and the words actually mean a mother's pray. So the mothers praying from way back, we're talking about ancestral mothers, and so if you're just trying to understand what the words mean, just think about our grandmothers praying. Thank you.